Thousands of years ago, humans did something kind of strange. We took wolves and turned them into dogs. Wild cattle became cows. Wild boars became pigs. And wild horses became our companions, our workers, our way of getting around. Entire species were reshaped to fit into our civilization. But almost all of that happened thousands of years ago. And that leaves an uncomfortable question. Have we already domesticated everything worth domesticating? Or is there an animal alive today that could become the next dog? And it turns out there is a favorite. If scientists had to bet on the next animal we could domesticate, the answer would be the fox. But first you have to understand something important. Most animals are terrible candidates. People confuse taming with domesticating, and they are not the same thing. A tiger raised by humans can become tame, even seem affectionate, but that doesn't make tigers domesticated. Domestication happens when an entire species changes genetically over many generations, and that is incredibly hard to pull off. Take zebras. People have tried to domesticate them for centuries. On paper they look perfect, horse-sized, strong enough to ride, and they live in groups. And yet domesticated zebras basically don't exist. Why? Because they're aggressive, unpredictable, and almost impossible to breed selectively. And that's the catch. Most species just don't pass the test. Some are too aggressive. Some panic at the smallest thing. Some refuse to breed in captivity, and others simply lack the social structure to work alongside humans. The historian and biologist Jared Diamond argued that only a tiny fraction of large animals have the right combination of traits. In other words, we probably picked the obvious winners a very long time ago, but maybe not all of them. Which brings us back to foxes. In 1959, a Soviet geneticist named Dmitry Belyaev launched one of the most fascinating experiments in history. The idea was simple. Take wild silver foxes and breed only the friendliest ones. Nothing else mattered. Not size, not looks, not intelligence, only friendliness toward humans. Generation after generation, the tamest foxes were chosen to breed. And what happened stunned the scientists. The foxes didn't just get friendlier, they started to look different. Their ears went floppy, their tails curled up, their coats developed new colors. Some even began acting like dogs, seeking attention, wagging their tails, following people around. And all of this in just a few decades. The experiment revealed something remarkable. When a species starts adapting to human company, other changes come along for the ride. Behavior changes, appearance changes, even biology changes. Exactly what happened to wolves thousands of years ago. That's why foxes are the strongest candidate. We've already proven the process works. But here's the catch. Just because we can domesticate foxes doesn't mean we will. Because today, we face a problem our ancestors never had. We don't really need new domestic animals anymore. For almost all of history, domestication solved practical problems: food, transport, protection, labor. Modern technology does a lot of those jobs better than animals ever could. So if foxes were domesticated tomorrow, what role would they even play? And that leads to a bigger idea. Maybe the next domestic animal won't be chosen because it's useful, but because a species naturally becomes compatible with human life. We've already seen it with cats. Contrary to what most people think, we didn't create cats the way we created dogs. Cats domesticated themselves. When the first farming societies started storing grain, the mice showed up. The mice attracted wildcats. The cats got easy food and humans got free pest control. Nobody sat down to invent the house cat. The relationship just happened on its own. And maybe that's how the next domestication will happen, because evolution never stopped. Animals are still adapting to us right now. Urban foxes have learned to thrive in cities. Crows can recognize individual human faces, and some birds have even learned to use traffic to crack open nuts. Entire species are adjusting to human environments in ways our ancestors never imagined. And that opens up a fascinating possibility. Maybe somewhere on the planet, another species is already taking its first steps down the same path the wolves and the cats once took. Not because we planned it, but because living alongside humans simply turns out to be convenient. And the real answer might be even more interesting than foxes, because the story of domestication suggests something unexpected. It was never about humans controlling animals. It was about cooperation. The animals that succeeded weren't the strongest or the smartest, but the ones capable of building a relationship with us. Wolves became dogs because the partnership benefited both sides. Cats stuck around because life next to humans was easier, and maybe the next species will arrive the same way. Not through some grand scientific project, but because it slowly discovers that its future is better with us than without us. So when someone asks which animal will domesticate next, the most likely answer is the fox. But the truly fascinating part is that the real next domestic animal might already be out there, quietly adapting to human life. And we just haven't noticed yet.